You may have heard Assassin's Creed is getting a new game, or maybe you haven't, I don't know, maybe you don't keep up with Assassin's Creed anymore. I certainly don't. Assassin's Creed is getting a new game called Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is going to be set in Japan. Now, this video is not going to be about me calling out, oh, they've got a black protagonist, because apparently the person who is the protagonist actually existed, and also because if I say even one terrible thing or one bad thing about the protagonist. If I say one bad thing about the protagonist in any way, shape, or form, I think I'll probably have like 15 snipers on me by the time I'm finished. But I digress. Look at these prices for this game. Like, Ubisoft just never learn. Look at these prices. $70 for a standard edition of a game. And if you're feeling extra daring, you can buy the Ultimate Edition for $130, which for some reason has a season pass. Why? I don't know. It's Ubisoft. It's better not to question it at this point. Will you pre-order or pass? I think I'll be passing. Thank you. No offense, Rhino, but it's more like a hell no from me. Like, Ubisoft has really just turned Assassin's Creed into an ass Creed thing at this point. You probably even forgotten there were this many games. I mean, I don't even know how many Assassin's Creed games have come out since it started back in, like, what, 2007, around that time? Probably been over 100 Assassin's Creed games since then, to be honest. Like, it honestly feels like Assassin's Creed has been here since the dawn of time. It feels like it's older than me, even though it's not. I feel like a fossil just thinking about it, knowing that I'm older than this franchise. You remember the game Skull and Bones? Don't worry, I won't be ashamed if you don't. I think people want to kind of forget it ever existed, especially Ubisoft. Apparently after the first ever quadruple A game in history, and it's fucking shit. Of course, IGN won't give anyone less than a 7, though in IGN terms a 7 means absolute garbage, and apparently according to Metacritic, or someone at Metacritic, I mean, it's probably a 6.5 in its current state. About 20 hours in so far. Not particularly long, I know, maybe not long enough to give a review. What the fuck do you mean not long enough to give a review? Are you telling me if I bought fucking Skull and Bones, or I'm sorry, Dull as Bones as I like to refer to it, if I buy this game, which obviously I won't, spoiler alert, but if I did, you're going to tell me 20 hours in I'll still have no idea if it was worth it or not? I've spent about £60 on this, was it worth it? Well, it's only been 20 hours, I don't have a clue. I've got to play it for like another 50 hours to actually know. It's so stupid. What do you mean you don't have it? It's not long enough to give a review. Clearly it was, because you're just giving a review. Trash quadruple A pretend pirate game with no swashbuckling, only lame fetch quests. I look forward to never owning this game. You and me both, Ace Boy. It's a pirate game, but take the P out of it, makes irate, and that's exactly how you'll be feeling when playing that game. Then we've got this here from some news article. I don't actually know which one it is, my bad. I kind of just clicked on the link. The Assassin's Creed Shadows reveal is saying all the right things to excite classic Assassin's Creed fans. Oh, it's from PC Gamer. Do I want notifications? No, I think I'll block them, thank you. Keep up to date? No. Piss off, please. I digress. A third time. Maybe fourth time. Not sure now. Wasn't this what was said about Assassin's Creed Mirage? I thought they said, oh, we're gonna go back to like classic Assassin's Creed roots, and I mean, I'm not sure if it even did. I never played the game. Spoiler alert, I won't play the game. But like, if it went back to classic Assassin's Creed roots, you'd think it would have been a lot better received. But all I heard from it was just really mediocre. Now, apparently we're going to get another one that's going to excite classic Assassin's Creed fan. You know, like, I played Assassin's Creed 2 a while ago for the first time. That was my first ever Assassin's Creed game. I like absolutely loved it. Like, it was so much fun to play. This is not gonna feel the same. This is not gonna feel classic, because you know what the main difference was? Is that Assassin's Creed 2 wasn't a cash grab when it came out. Not have replicated a classic Assassin's Creed game with all these extra things on it. I mean, it's Ubisoft, so there might honestly be like a $1 fee if you want to patch yourself up. The last 7 years of Assassin's Creed games have turned me into the sort of fan I never wanted to become. A withered old grump who wishes things were the way they used to be. Nobody likes that guy, especially not the millions of people who became Assassin's Creed fans through the immaculate words of Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Wasn't Valhalla kind of like badly received as well? Or am I just... I'm not as familiar with Valhalla. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't as well received. Origins and Odyssey, I think, was kind of a bit more well received, but Valhalla, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I've gotten used to the idea that modern Assassin's Creed is stepping into the shoe. It's about stepping into the shoes of historical warrior archetypes, like a playable episode of Deadliest Warrior, and not, well, being an assassin. That is true, yeah, like, the past Assassin's Creed games weren't even like being an assassin, it was like being a warrior. And I assume this is what they mean by being more like an assassin, going back to roots, but isn't like a samurai more like a warrior than an assassin? You know, I'm just kind of thinking like how, if you're trying to go back to that kind of actually feeling like an assassin, a warrior, or even a samurai is not an assassin. Like, there was no time, really, when you were playing Ghost of Tsushima. But, like, yeah, I feel like I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game. This feels like I'm an assassin. Like, it's just, no. You feel like you're a samurai, just closer to a warrior. Most of the time, you're not stealthily sneaking up on people. I mean, of course, some parts of the game you can, but most of the game is you actually going like one-on-one with people. But maybe the game won't be that bad, but it's Ubisoft, so you can kind of guess what it's going to be like. And with all the prices now, like AAA games, or I guess as they'll put it, quadruple A games, maybe we'll even get to a quintuple A game with this one. As in general, they're just not the same as they were. They're more, like, obviously they're businesses. The whole mission and vision is to make a profit. Sure, that's common knowledge. But back in the day, it was a lot more subtle. There was a lot more like love poured into it. There's a lot more care and detail put into them. A lot more meticulous with how it did things. Nowadays, though, like, if I played an Assassin's Creed, like, if I play Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's just going to have the same kind of mediocrity as Mirage did. The historical black samurai who faces his enemies head on. I've heard that this guy actually existed, so I can't really say anything bad about that. I know there are some people that are genuinely like, oh, I hate this, it should be a Japanese person, but, like, if he actually existed, then, you know, fair enough. I don't see the problem with playing as him. But it's a fantasy game after all. Of course, you want there to be an ounce of realism in your fantasy game, but if it's someone who actually existed, fair enough. In an interview with IGN, God forbid, Ubisoft said most missions can be tackled as either character. Some are character specific, leaving it up to the player to decide if they want to approach Shadows like an Odyssey style action RPG or a traditional stealth game. So this is what they mean by having both type, like playing as a warrior or an assassin. But then this isn't really going back to classic Assassin's Creed roots if you're having a choice of which ones you want to play. If it was going back to classic Assassin's Creed roots, it would be a traditional stealth game through and through, but it's not. It gives you the option, which maybe it'll be fun. Again, it's Ubisoft. They never really learn. It's Ash Creed. Ash Creed, God knows what, probably 5,000 at this point. I'm resisting the urge to call ball on Ubi's suggestion that stealth and open combat will have an equal focus after how untrue that proved to be in Odyssey and Valhalla. Which is the thing, it's like, you know AAA companies, or according to Ubisoft, quintuple A companies lie. It's obvious. They're gonna exaggerate things to build up hype, and then when it turns out it's not true, people will complain about it and they'll be like, oh no, you know, maybe in the next game it will have that, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. Especially with Ubisoft, it's like, it's just going to be the same thing. As long as it's fun, that's all I really care about. I know there's people who'd be like, oh, but I care about other things, I care about this and this. I'll only really play it if I see the reviews are decent. I'm not going to pre-order a game. Pre-ordering a game is a very big mistake. Do not do it, especially a AAA company. God forbid, you do not want to do that. And Ubi also shared some specific details about stealth and shadows that have me leaning in. A few highlights from the same IGN interviewer. This is IGN, by the way. The problem with IGN is it's called IGN, but the interviewer could be like a myriad of people. It could be countless amounts of people. It could be however many employees they have as journalists. So obviously they're not going to have the exact same opinions. So, of course, if it comes to having to arse lick a company, they're going to have the same opinions on that, but specific opinions, they're not going to have the same ones as. And also it's IGN, no one likes IGN. So, I mean, they gave Skull and Bones a 7 out of 10, that tells you all you need to know, really. And then just look at this as well. Like I said, the base game was, what, $70? And then the next level, $109, and then $120-something dollars. With at least 2 post-launch new expansions at $25 each, or you can just buy the season pass for $40. Like, this is, I mean, I'd imagine, like, it's included in the overall thing. If you were to buy the most expensive options, like $130 or something like that. Like, $130 for one game. Like, you could wait on Steam like a summer sale or a winter sale. If you had $130 to spend, just imagine how many games you could get. You could get so many games on sale instead of paying $130 for absolutely everything straight away for an Assassin's Creed game, which could be extremely mediocre. Alternatively, though, you might as well spend it on getting some fucking prostitutes or something, because I think that'll be a better time spent with your money. But yeah, I just wanted to make a short video on this. Just showing how greedy Ubisoft have become. They might as well just take their mask off and it reveals like EA underneath. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. I'll see you later, alligators. Mwah.